everybody, and welcome to the 2019 Lamley Awards. We've done this for several years, well before the YouTube channel when I had the Lamley Group blog. Now with the Lamley channel, it's time to vote on our favorites, the best and the worst of 2019 from our favorite brands. So throughout the next, 2 or 3 weeks, I will be showcasing all kinds of models from Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Auto World, Tomica Limited Vintage, you name it. We'll be going through all kinds of categories. I'll showcase the models, and then you and me, we are going to vote on those that we think are the best and the worst or most disappointing. I'll clarify as we go through each one of these categories. But we are starting with Super Treasure Hunts. They're always the most talked about models throughout the year, and there's always a lot of opinions, and it is time to vote on the best and the worst. This is how it will go. I'm going to showcase these models fairly quickly. I'm going to try and do it without showing too much of my opinion. And then there are links down below in the video description to 2 polls. One is for the best Super Treasure Hunt, or what you think is the best Super Treasure Hunt, and one is what you think is the worst Super Treasure Hunt. We'll talk about how to come up with that idea. Actually, you can come up with whatever reasoning you want, you can use to vote for your best and worst, but I definitely want you to vote. Share that link with your friends, and let's get as many votes as possible, because not only is it interesting to see what our readers and collectors' favorites, or viewers' favorites, but also Mattel watches these. Not that they make decisions based on it, but I know there's always some curiosity about what gets voted on for best and worst. So follow those links. Be sure to vote. Do not fail. Comments, leave your comments, but I won't count them. I want to hear your comments. You can clarify why you voted for one and not the other, but I will only be counting the polls, and the polls are actually universal. So whether you come through the YouTube channel, whether you go through the Lamley Group blog at lamleygroup.com, or any other links that I provide, it will all go to the same poll. So every vote counts, and I definitely want you guys to vote so that we can go through these opinions. So I'm going to walk through these Super Treasure Hunts. There are 15 in all. Hot Wheels does 15 mixes each year. They pick one model from each mix to enhance as a Super Treasure Hunt. I think most of you know that. I'll give you for an example. I've got the basics behind. This is your basic Mustang, your 92 Mustang. They chose that in that whatever mix this was to be the Super Treasure Hunt, and you can see that upgraded paint to Spectre Flame, wheels turned into Real Riders, and then in some cases, in the case of this one, for example, they added some extra deco on the hood, and then of course somewhere on the body there will be a TH for Super Treasure Hunt. So those are we're going to walk through these Super Treasure Hunts. Now, what is the criteria for voting for best and worst? Really, you come up with it. This is what I do. Obviously, there's castings that I like and don't like, but if I just vote basically on that, I don't think that that's totally clarifying. Obviously, there's some castings I like better than others here. I do factor that in, but I also factor in what's the deco on the car, how much is it enhanced? For example, is there, like, how does the Spectre Flame look? What do the Real Riders look like? Is the difference between the Super Treasure Hunt and the basic so crazy that you just can't ignore it? Or is it just a really good-looking model with good-looking paint? There's a lot of factors. Don't just pick your favorite casting. I don't think that's going to be cool. Well, you do whatever you want, to be perfectly honest. All right, let's walk through them. We will start with the first mix, and we'll work through them, starting with the 1990 Honda Civic EF. This one was in Greddy Deco. This is based on an actual car. Kenji over at Greddy owns this Civic. And it's quite enhanced, the actual car, and I think we've seen you can go on YouTube and see showcases of it. But this one is based on that, basic in white. The Super Treasure Hunt in kind of a pearl white. I think this is the first Super Treasure Hunt in white. I don't think there's any additional deco on it, but obviously Real Riders and then the TH on the back license. Next one, Nissan Skyline GTR R34. We have seen a lot of the R34 convention model RLC lately. This one was the first Super Treasure Hunt. I guess I don't need to call it the first Super Treasure Hunt, but the only time it's in green. The enhancements are only an additional deco with J. Lou. That's Jimmy Lou, the marketing director, big fan of the R34. So it goes to a Spectre Flame, kind of olive green, Real Rider GT wheels on it. and then like that additional deco next to the hood stripe. So nothing too crazy in terms of additional deco. than that one with the olive green. Next one. This is the, I always forget which is the Corvette Grand Sport, right? I think is what is the name of this one. Maybe it has a year attached to it as well. The basic is in yellow. This one, to go to a Spectre Flame, turns essentially, what is it, gold? So quite a difference in the paint. You know, you can see, I think you can, when you put the Hondas together and the R34, you can see the distinct difference in the paint. This one doesn't take much. Real Riders, Goodyear tires. I think this is the only one with any sort of logo on the tire, which is kind of cool. I think the deco is exactly the same, obviously with the additional TH for T-Hunt, but the difference is quite distinct when it comes to the paint. Next one, VW T2 pickup. This is the first one to sit on those 1552 Real Riders, and so it has a 1552 logo on it. No additional deco from the basic, other than a much darker Spectre Flame. I guess you'd call that brown. Almost comes out maroon. Gold rims on it. I don't see any additional deco. I thought maybe they would enhance the front, but they didn't. So that is the T2. Popular casting for sure. All right, a lot of strong opinions about this one. The 5th Super of the year. This is the Back to the Future DeLorean in hover mode. This one didn't even go Spectre Flame. This one, okay, so let's talk about it. No Real Riders because it has wheels on the bottom and they are plastic. There's no reason to put Real Riders on it. So this one went in Zamac. And there was a lot of opinion about how folks didn't like this one going Super because it didn't have the standard Real Rider tires, Spectre Flame paint. It does have the TH logo, and obviously if Mattel wants to call it a Super Treasure Hunt, they can do whatever they want. But there obviously were some strong opinions about this one. I'll be curious to see where this one ends up. But all in all, it's a good-looking model, especially when you compare it with the basic version. It photographs well too, which I had never done because I've never photographed it before. All right, next one, Mazda Repo pickup truck. This one has quite a few enhancements. Spectre Flame blue. It has a hood deco, Watts style rims on it, and then this one goes from a black base to a dark chrome base. So this one really got a ton of enhancements when you compare it with the basic. Real Riders, additional deco, Spectre Flame paint, and a totally different base. And you don't see that happen a ton where the base changes on these. I'm thinking of the Honda S2000, and there might be a couple of more, but you don't see that very often. So that's so black to dark chrome. All right, I already showed you the Mustang to start. This is the 92 Mustang in a Spectre Flame teal, which I don't know if we've seen this color a lot before, but it looks really nice. And I'm not trying to express opinions, but I think we can all agree this is a nice Spectre Flame color. Additional deco on the hood and on the rear on the spoiler where it says Mustang, but this one goes with the chrome rims and the black tires. That is the 92 Mustang. After that, Cougar. What is it? The 68 Mercury Cougar. Done in enhanced racing mode. This is a car that's been out for a while, and this is the first time it's a Super Treasure Hunt. From the Flame series, this one, no additional deco outside of the TH. Gray Real Riders, which kind of match the MC5s. But the basic had a matte green, and this one goes with the Spectre Flame kind of forest green. So that makes for a quite distinct difference. I actually found this Super Treasure Hunt, and it wasn't hard to spot when I was looking through the bin that I found it in. All right, that is the Mercury Cougar, 6-straight Mercury Cougar. You know what's funny? Super Treasure Hunts, before they changed the paint. This is the first year with this new Spectre Flame that they're using for Super Treasure Hunts. It would be majority red. It seemed like you looked at 12 to 15 Super Treasure Hunts that were done in a year, the good chunk of them would be red. This is the first year where red was not the dominant color. In fact, there's no dominant color at all. Red, only 2 versions. This is the first. This is the 69 Corvette, the racing Corvette. This one, no additional deco from what I can tell outside of the TH, but that Spectre Flame red is there. That's the first time we're seeing this new Spectre Flame red. All the deco on the top is the same, and then instead of just black and chrome 5-spoke wheels, they really changed it up by going with the gold Trans Am style Real Riders on this one. So this one is a very distinct difference from the basic. Not hard to spot at all. The Gumball 69 Racing, or Corvette Racer, I think is what its official name is. Dodge Demon, the SRT Demon. Popular casting to be sure. So this one got a lot of people excited that it turned into a super treasure hunt. No additional deco. It's got hood deco. It has the TH on the trunk, which is the only difference when it comes to the graphics. But obviously, this is the second red super treasure hunt, going from standard red on the Demon to Spectre Flame. Old school Real Rider tires on this one. We don't see these Real Riders very often anymore. They pop up on the Demon, giving it kind of an old school muscle look, which is an interesting look for that one. I think a very creative, deliberate choice by the folks at Mattel. All right, Street Creeper. This is the only this is the only unlicensed car. They don't do too many unlicensed supers, but they'll throw one or two at us each year. The one this year, it's the Street Creeper. Real Riders, 5 spokes with the chrome rims. No additional deco outside of the TH on the roof. And this one goes from a black basic model to this kind of Spectre Flame gunmetal that we've seen on the Skyline now, the R32 in 2020. Is kind of showing that color, which is new for Super Treasure Hunts as well. They really have expanded the colors, which I think is great. Lamborghini Aventador J in a burnt Spectre Flame orange, black 5-spoke rims. Trying to think, no additional deco, center stripe, side stripe. I think this year, it used to be almost every Super Treasure Hunt had some additional graphic on it, and they've moved away from that a little bit. I'm not complaining at all because I think the paint is higher quality. The Real Riders look really good, so there's already enough difference on it. But yeah, this one goes to the main difference is the color. I'd imagine that's the type that some people might have missed. Now, speaking of missing a Super Treasure Hunt, the Tesla Model S, dark Spectre Flame blue. Only one of two. We used to see a lot of blue Super Treasure Hunts as well. Only the Repo and the Tesla this time. Black GT wheels on it. The TH logo is tiny, right behind the tail light on this one. I'm trying to think if there's any other difference. I think you put it together with the basic, you can see that obviously a very distinct difference in the color of the paint and also the wheels, because the gray PR5's on the basic. But no enhanced deco at all, which I think is great, because a car like that, which needs to be plain, we've seen more plain Super Treasure Hunts the last couple of years too. Trying to think if there's, yeah, that's the first, and obviously the Porsche is the last, but we saw that last year with the Audi Super Treasure Hunt. We've seen the Ford GT Super Treasure Hunt. It's kind of cool to see them just, and just showcase the paint. All right, second to last Super Treasure Hunt is the Morris Mini Cooper, whatever you want to call it. It's called officially the Morris Mini. They did some interesting changes on this one. Obviously, the most distinct difference, because the blues don't look too different. If you put them together, you can see them. Oh, this is the third blue. I said this was one of two, the Tesla. This is the third blue. But the interior is completely different, which you don't see very often. The interior is gray compared to red on the basic. And then some of the logos, like the number 10, racing number 10 on the roof, is gold on the Super, and it's white on the basic. So kind of some interesting changes. Even the hood stripe is different. And then, of course, the TH logo. So no additional deco per se, but some distinct differences in those. So kind of a creative way that they made the Mini very different. And last but not least, really showcasing the Spectre Flame. I think when you're looking at the new Spectre Flame, the most interesting is that you have a white and a black Spectre Flame, but I think the color that stands out the most, and again, not trying to showcase an opinion, but it was very clear that this purple on the Porsche 911 GT3 RS is quite distinct and very new for Super Treasure Hunts. So a very small TH logo, next to the Hot Wheels logo on the rear license plate. That's the only difference deco-wise. This one goes from the Trap 5s on the basic to the GT style real riders. On this one, interior's the same, all the same, but the purple is quite different. We'll say that. And there you go. 15 super treasure hunts. You go down and vote on what the one you think is the best. If you want to put your reason in the comments, do it, but you've got to vote. And then follow the next link and vote on the worst. Which one was the most disappointing? Which one bummed you out? Which one do you wish was not a super treasure hunt? You just use your reasoning and put that in the comments if you want to, but definitely vote on both polls. Thanks, everybody. We got a lot more Lamley Awards to come. Look for these videos to sporadically pop in the next few weeks. Lots of topics, and I want you to vote on every single one of them. Thanks, everybody. Bye.